So I'm going to show you how I made this miniature bridge, or this spaceship cockpit. I'm going to use this in a short film that I'm making. Okay, so I'm making this cockpit for my spaceship, and I've designed each one of these parts individually. These are going to be little screens. I have these struts here and I have these support structures, and this is going to be the base of it and the top of it. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and print out these parts, and I'm going to do it individually. So for example, this piece will just be one piece. That'll just make it easier to 3D print. So I have these shapes that I printed, and this will be the main window, and these will be like little TV screens. I need to paint all this stuff up. These struts I designed, unfortunately they're so small and narrow that they kind of failed. Didn't come out properly. It's all fibrous, it's kind of weak here. I don't know. I'm just going to do without those. I may add some other parts to this that aren't 3D printed. Maybe some EVA foam material or something. Because I'm not certain that this piece that I have as the window will be able to hold these two together. I need some kind of extra support along here. And these are some junk pieces that I made that I'm going to use as supports. These are basically failed prints. So some of these edges are a little weak, and I'm going to glue those to the surface of this. Now bear in mind, my cockpit here is going to just be, the camera will only be seeing the inside. So the outside of it I can do whatever, but later I'll have to paint this. Okay, so I also have these random end pieces that I'm going to be using as supports. These are end pieces for foam mats, and I've used these in other props that I've made. So there's my cockpit so far. It still doesn't feel very stable. So I'm going to go ahead and glue some other support pieces here and here. I may even add more glue to parts of it. So this is the miniature of the bridge so far. I'm still going to let this dry a little bit more. This glue is still not fully set. And then I'll paint this up, and I'll put markers maybe on the screen, or maybe I'll paint it green. I don't know. The screens in here, these TV screens I put, are going to have CG elements applied to them later. So, yeah. Okay, so it's night. It's a little bit difficult to see, but this is dry. The only problem is when I look at it up in the light, I can kind of see some of the orange coming through. And that's probably because the back is still unpainted. I think I'll just go ahead and paint this black with the spray paint. And that will, even though this part won't be visible on camera, it should cut down on the light effect where you see orange light glowing through this material. Okay, here's my miniature spaceship bridge so far. I painted the other side and it's more opaque. If I bring it up to a light, it's very difficult to see any sort of orange tint that it had before. So I'm going to add some detail to this, glue some things and paint detail and do some various techniques, painting techniques. Okay, so I have this acrylic paint and I'm going to mix up some gray paint. And I'm going to lightly brush the edges of this so it looks kind of weathered. I'm going to go ahead and take these electronic parts like this thing. I'm going to take it off with a wire cutter, and I'm going to glue these on the inside of here so it looks more realistic. And I have this wire wrapped around this screen here. I'm going to go ahead and glue that to this piece too.
Yeah, come here, Mario.
So here it is with all these little pieces glued on. Now there's still some of this glue that's visible. Anyone who knows what a hot glue gun looks like when the glue dries will immediately be able to see that was done with a hot glue gun. So I'm going to go ahead and use a small paintbrush and paint over that, and I'm also going to paint over this little RCA logo which is on these circuit pieces. Okay, so here's the miniature bridge set. I like how this turned out. So this is like a quick test on what it might look like. You know, I would have the camera rolling and maybe I'd have clouds in the background, like a picture of clouds, or I might even have green screen. I'm not certain what I'm going to do yet. But you can kind of tell how this looks, and the light changes on the surface of it. So it's a very cool way to do an interior bridge, spaceship, or cockpit of some kind.